So we're really pleased to welcome Rachel from Home-Start Kirklees, who's going to share some more information about volunteering.
Fantastic. Right, let me put my slides on because I've got a bit of a presentation to show everybody. Here we go. So I'm Rachel. I'm from Home-Start Kirklees and I'm the Volunteer Recruitment Coordinator for Home-Start. So I'm just going to be really casual today, just tell you a little bit about volunteering with us, how you can volunteer, the benefits of volunteering, and also a little bit about who we are and what Home-Start does, because we're just not very widely known in Kirklees at all. So we'll sort of concentrate on all of that. So I'll just say a little bit about who I am. So first of all, as I said, my role is Volunteer Recruitment Coordinator. That means that I'm the person that goes out and talks about Home-Start, tries to represent us across the community a little bit, let people know what we do, how to volunteer with us. I've been doing this job for about 18 months, but I really like to tell everyone when I'm talking about Home-Start that I used to be a volunteer as well. So I volunteered for Home-Start for about 2 years, and then I just happened to get to see this job and apply for it. So not only have I worked for Home-Start professionally, but I've also got that sort of volunteer point of view as well. So let's get started. Okay. So let me start by telling you who Home-Start is. So first of all, we are a charitable organisation and we support struggling parents. So we are a parent support charity. And as it says on the slide, Home-Start is there for parents when they need us most. We provide support to ensure their children develop the vital foundations that they need to flourish. So we are about supporting parents for the benefit of the whole family and the children that are within that home. So we have been operating in Kirklees for quite a long time, about 26 years actually. So we're not very well known, but we have been here for a long, long time. But we're part of a national network of Home-Starts. So Home-Start operates all around the country. There's about 140 different Home-Starts, give or take, each operating within their council area, and we just do Kirklees. We're committed to the welfare of children. Ultimately, we want to make sure that children have the best start in life, and that's what we're all about. And we do that by offering a really unique and bespoke service to each family that needs us. We go see those families, we go work out what they need, and we go try to give the right sort of support to that parent. And we really focus on emotional and practical support. So what does that mean? Well, for some, emotional support is just having another adult to go and talk to that understands how tricky parenting can be and the challenges that they are. And practical support can mean something like helping a parent just walk to the park every week, get them out and about because they've got twins and it's really difficult for them. So that's who we are, that's what we do, that's Home-Start. So just moving on. So we support families in loads of different ways. We operate right across Kirklees, and a lot of the places that we operate are either in community areas, so a community centre, or in a family's home. We support families predominantly through volunteers, but also through staff members as well. So we recruit a large variety of different sort of volunteers. We want people that just really reflect the society that we live in. And we've got different sort of roles now that can try to help people support us however they feel best. So our sort of core role is a home visiting volunteer. Those people will volunteer with us and they'll visit another family at home for 2 to 3 hours per week. But actually, in reality, not everybody does every single week, and not everybody does 3 hours either. Some of our volunteers visit a family every other week. Some of our volunteers just volunteer in term time because they're parents themselves and they've got children at home during the school holidays. Some of our volunteers might go all morning. Some of them just pop in for an hour. So it really, really varies, but that's our core role. We've then also got group volunteers. So these are people that still support families, still provide advice, still help them, but they're doing it within a group format. So we run specific parenting groups, mostly at our offices, some of them out across in Kirklees, as I said, in community centres. They're run by staff, Home-Start Kirklees staff, but we have volunteers that come in and support those parents. Maybe it's just welcoming them every week, maybe it's making a cup of tea, maybe it's just helping that family with a little bit of advice, or maybe it's just watching that child while that parent talks to one of our members of staff, something like that. So that's a really, really great role for someone that still wants to be involved, but wants to be able to do it with staff members and doesn't want to volunteer by themselves in a person's home. We've then got a couple of new roles that are quite new to us that I wanted to talk about as well. So first of all, we've got a new oral health project, and we have volunteers that are supporting there. That's a much more flexible role. Again, it's supporting staff. It's got a lot less commitment, maybe just a couple of hours every single month. And we've got those roles, and that will be ongoing. And then we're also at the moment looking for a volunteer driver that could help support us and could just deliver supplies to community settings. And again, that's much less commitment, just coming and getting involved, maybe a couple of hours once a month, something like that. So those are our roles at the moment. Okay. So what I'm going to move on to now is just really volunteering with Home-Start, what type of people we're looking for, and also what volunteering can do for you as well. So as I said, I understand about volunteering because I was a volunteer as well. But what we really look for is just really passionate, caring individuals, but people that really understand the challenges of parenting. So many of our volunteers are parents themselves. Some of them have young children, some of them have got grown-up children, but they still remember the challenges. And actually, some of our volunteers don't have their own children, but maybe they've got professional experience with working with children. Maybe they're doing a university course that fits with that, or maybe they come from a really, really big family themselves and they help look after cousins and things like that. So you don't just have to be a parent to be caring, to be passionate and understand the challenges that parenting can bring us. I will mention that generally volunteering with us is flexible, it fits around your other commitments. We have lots of volunteers that are maybe working part-time, we have volunteers that are parents themselves. Some of our volunteers have got children with a disability, so they have a lot of caring commitments too, but they manage to fit volunteering in around those. But I just wanted to mention that here at Home-Start, we understand that volunteering is a really two-way thing. You know, volunteering absolutely fantastic, but you've got to get something back from volunteering. It's got to be enjoyable, it's got to be fulfilling. So we're really passionate about making sure volunteers understand, you know, what they're delivering through the volunteering. So first of all, here at Home-Start, we believe that our volunteers really make a difference to their local community. They really, really help families within their local community. For volunteers themselves, lots of our volunteers tell us that really volunteering with us helps build their confidence, it helps build their self-esteem. They're doing something for them that's outside of their own home. You know, they're doing something different, they're meeting people. It also allows people to share their skills. Some of our volunteers say, oh, I didn't really understand what my skills were and how skilled I was as a parent till I was able to tell other people and advise them. And I realised I've built up all this knowledge of things I've done with my own children. So it allows you to use some of your skills and your knowledge to help others and to pass on that knowledge and help other people. One of the big things obviously volunteering can do is you get experience, you can add to your CV. We also provide things such as references and things if volunteers need them in the future. And then the other big thing obviously about volunteering with us is you get to meet new people and, you know, and do something new. So there's a lot of benefits to volunteering with us too. And then I just wanted to include some quotes. So these are actually what volunteers have told Home-Start about what volunteering is meant for them. We've got a wide variety of 3 really, really different volunteers here, all who've given, you know, had a positive experience with us. So the first one, and I'll read it out, it says, I wasn't sure if volunteering for Home-Start was for me, but I would now encourage volunteering to any parent. I love it. The experience has been invaluable. It helps me mentally to keep busy and has really built my confidence. I feel better about myself. I will tell you that the person that gave this quote is a busy parent themselves. They've got a large family, you know, they have not a lot of time for themselves. They were also a highly educated person that had stepped out of work for a while to look after their children. But they were also nervous about volunteering and wasn't sure if it was for them. And it took them a little while to feel like they were ready for it. But now they've really enjoyed it. And they're still volunteering for us actually at the moment, that person. Okay, so the second one is volunteering is very enriching for me. I like doing it. It's great to see families making little steps and growing in confidence. Again, a completely different volunteer to the first person, but this person, still is really, really enjoying it. And then lastly, it's volunteering can feel like a really scary prospect until you just give it a try and find out what it involves. And that's what volunteers often say when we talk about Home-Start and what we do. Volunteers will say, I couldn't possibly do that. How could I help another parent? And it's like, yeah, it may sound like a big deal when you first investigate it, but actually, our volunteers tell us that once they give it a go, they really enjoy it. And actually, it's great and they can do it, and actually they really help somebody else. So I wanted to just quickly talk about how do you become a volunteer. So pretty simple process. So first of all, it's get in touch with us. Not that many people know about us, so we're always trying to promote ourselves. So first of all, get in touch. Quite a few different ways you can do that. You can click on the role. That sends a notification to us if you apply for it via your website. Secondly, you can just email Home-Start directly. So you can email me directly, or you can just email our Home-Start general inbox, which is on our website and on all our leaflets. Or you can just simply phone the office and say, I'm interested in volunteering, and I will get back to you. So I get back to every single volunteer that wants a bit more information, and I'll just have a chat with people, tell them what Home-Start is, what to find out about you, and what you're interested in. So just get in touch. If it all sounds like volunteering with Home-Start sounds something that's interesting, next step after having a quick chat with someone is having a volunteer one-to-one discussion. So that's just between me and the volunteer, and it is just an informal in-person chat about volunteering. I'll give people the application form. I'll talk about things such as background checks, answer any other questions people have about volunteering, so people can come in and understand what volunteering for us means and the timeframes. After that, if you want to do home visiting volunteering or you want to do group volunteering, we have a training course. And that training course is about fully preparing volunteers, onboarding them with Home-Start, making sure that they understand the things that they would come across, really just getting to know us and fully preparing people to volunteer with us. Our normal training course is 5 sessions long. It normally runs 1 session per week, and it is always within school hours. We run those from our offices in Huddersfield, but we also do other locations across Kirklees. We normally run 1 course in Batley at least once a year, and I'm starting to look at other locations at the moment as well. While you're doing the training course, we do have a number of background checks for volunteering. So we operate something called a safer recruitment process. It does mean these things such as a DBS check, and we ask people for references. Again, we talk all through that when you first want to discuss about volunteering, because it can sound like a bit of a scary prospect when all of a sudden we say there's all these background checks. It isn't. It's quite simple. We talk it through so people know what they have to do. And then once you've completed your training, our background checks, you're ready to volunteer. So you're ready to volunteer with us, but it's really important that I say that we help you, we support you. You're assigned a member of the team here at Home-Start, and we will supervise you. So that's the process. And that's it. That's volunteering with us in a nutshell. So this is our question section.
That's great, Rachel. Thanks so much. That was really great to hear. I've got a couple of questions, if that's okay. So you mentioned the DBS check. Can you just explain what a DBS check is and if it would cost the volunteer any money to have the DBS check?
Yeah. So a DBS check, it is generally a criminal record check. So it checks whether or not you've got any criminal records. We actually do a fully enhanced DBS check, which means we don't also check if people have got a criminal record, but we also check whether or not you have got any recommendations made by a professional body which haven't led to a conviction. So it's just a way that we can understand people's backgrounds. And what I really just want to say here, Becky, is that we have had volunteers that have had a conviction in the past. If you've had a conviction, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't become a volunteer. You know, we understand here that people have, you know, backgrounds, people have had a past. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a barrier. So that's what it is. In terms of cost, it doesn't cost our volunteers anything. There is a small charge, but that's covered by Home-Start.
That's great. It's really helpful. Thank you. And you just talked about if you might be going out and visiting somewhere in their own home. So, does the volunteer offer any expenses for the volunteers?
We do. So partly volunteering is you're giving your time for free. We don't expect you to use money out of your own pocket. We will cover out-of-pocket expenses, which means if you're using your own car, we'll cover your mileage. It means that if you ever incur any parking expenses, for example, we will cover those. We also cover expenses for training as well. So it's not only once you're volunteering, we cover it for training. It shouldn't cost you anything to volunteer with us. You might have to pay up front, but then we really encourage you to claim that back straight away. In fact, we really encourage volunteers to do that. It's crucial that they do, actually.
That's great. So I presume you cover bus fare if people are travelling by bus and
Yeah,
not
we cover bus
haven't got a
fare.
car.
Yeah, we cover public transport costs. We've even been known in the past to cover short taxi fares as well, if that's been necessary for something too.
Great, thank you. And if English is my second language, can I volunteer with you?
Yeah, absolutely. We really actively encourage people that speak extra languages, actually. You know, Kirklees is a really diverse place. There's a lot of different types of people speaking different languages here. And we have a real need for people that speak extra languages to come and volunteer with us. We want to match those to families where English isn't necessarily their first language as well. So it's a real asset to us. We do need people's English to be of a standard that they can participate in the training. They can write down notes and they can communicate with us as staff members over the phone. But as long as your English is good enough to be able to have a conversation and, you know, write things down, then that's fine.
Brilliant, thank you. And can you just tell me some of the topics you cover on the course that you said is over 5 weeks, isn't it? One day a
Yeah,
week.
it is. So one of the really key things that we cover on that course is we do safeguarding. So we make sure that everyone has got a basic knowledge of safeguarding training and what to do. So that's a really key topic. Other things are looking at what challenges families face. We do things a little bit of child development as well. We also talk a lot about what volunteers can expect when they're volunteering. So what are the challenges that affect families? What type of things do our families often need help with? So it's a really wide variety of things. As I mentioned, one of the big things we cover is inducting people into Home-Start, so volunteers know what we're about and our expectations, you know, as well as learning about some of the basics around safeguarding and challenges and things too.
That sounds really good. So that would give people with a lot of skills and experience and knowledge if they're interested in a career in childcare or teaching or working with families, I presume.
Yeah, it does. It does. It gives people a lot of knowledge and it gives, you know, the course is designed for people, all different types of people. We have people that come and volunteer with us that have loads of knowledge about children already. Maybe they are professional, maybe they've been teachers, maybe they've been working in a childcare setting. We also have volunteers that have never worked in that sort of field and have just got their own parenting experience to bring. So it makes sure that people can take something away, whatever sort of levels of experience they've got, and that they find it useful. So yeah, it absolutely gives knowledge around what people can expect from families and the challenges that they have, and really builds, you know, everyone is what we hope.
Really great. Have we got any other questions before we finish the session?
Hi Rachel. I was just wondering, as a volunteer, what support I would have in terms of a sort of key contact, or if I had any issues or anything like that, how would I go about that?
Yeah, so we really encourage volunteers to keep in touch with us as much as possible. Each volunteer is assigned a member of staff. That is their key contact here at Home-Start. They will keep in touch with the volunteers, so they will have a volunteer review every 6 weeks where we'll either sit with that volunteer face to face and just have a meeting. Sometimes it can happen on the phone as well. And for some volunteers, that's fine, and they're happy just to have that review meeting every 6 weeks. We have other volunteers that want a little bit more interaction with us, and some of our volunteers will have a weekly phone call with a member of staff as well to make sure that they've got the right support, if they've got any questions, just to really make sure that that volunteer feels like they've got everything that they need to be able to have, you know, a good volunteer journey with us.
That's great. Yeah, thank you.
That's brilliant. Thank you
yeah.
so much. Is there anything else we need to know, or do you think we've finished our information session?
I think we finished it. I think that's it.
Lovely. That's great. Thanks so much,
Oh, that's
Rachel.
great.
No problem.
Really appreciate your time.
No, that's fine.
We'll close the session now. Thanks so
Okay.
much.
Okay, thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Thanks, Rachel.
Bye.
Bye.